Thank you so much for coming in today, Fredric.
Nice to be here.
Can you tell us, start off with telling us a little bit about your role at Volvo and what a typical day looks like for you?
Yeah, a typical day. First of all, I've been with Volvo for many years. I usually say that I've been with Volvo for 100 years, but that's maybe taking it too far. But I've been working in many different areas: product development, process development, even competence development at our dealerships. But now the last years I've been working more on digital marketing, both on CRM, but now my job more on digital marketing things. So I'm heading up right now the central team for editing of our volvocars.com platform. So it's all around product pages, how we reveal our products, the new products. You know, we will release a lot of new products during the next couple of years. And it's one of those things that my team is looking after to support the markets with editing, and then the markets do their editing a little bit more localized. We're also building up a service center and a digital experience service center for smaller markets, because they don't have the capacity to keep their websites up in a good way. So we are helping them with some agency and some in-sourced people to do that. Configurators that we will talk about a bit later as well, I think is very important for us at Volvo. And so far we've just been having these full configurators in the bigger markets, and we recently finalized rolling our new configurator out to I think 50 sales companies. But we now want to extend that to importers as well, because otherwise customers in those smaller markets, they are basically, they don't know what they are buying, and we really want to give them the possibility to see what they are buying, to see the prices, the options that they can get, and so on. And I'm also, where Reevoo comes in, is one of my other responsibilities. It's search engine optimization for our full volvocars.com platform. And there, I mean, Reevoo has absolutely helped in the UK to get us higher up on Google search lists and so on. So that's an interesting call.
It's great.
Yeah.
So you talked about the car configurator. I know we'll talk about it a little later, but actually while we're on the topic, tell us a little bit about why that's important for people choosing cars.
No, it is important to display our cars in a good way, and also to shortcut. You know, cars are very complicated nowadays, and I mean we at Volvo we hardly understand how our cars are built up, with trim levels, with expressions, blah 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 blah. So you need to make it easy for the customer to understand what our cars stand for. And I also think it's important for our customers to dream away a little bit in a configurator, to look at, oh, the XC90, if I add this feature, this would look absolutely fantastic. And then maybe come back to reality, because normally you start at one level, you go up a little bit, and then maybe you need to be more realistic and go down in price and in options and so on. And also I think it's important to show them the price, both on if you buy the car cash or if you lease it. And now, as you know, we have Care by Volvo, which is a subscription, which is also important to have in those configurators, so that you can already see what would be my alternatives of buying it, of leasing it, of subscribing to it. So it's and of course it's important that they have a clear picture, that they really have the visuals to back up our extremely nice features on the car.
I think one of my questions was going to be, you know, buying a car is obviously very emotive, it's a very expensive purchase, but it's also very physical. You know, a car is a big thing, and generally speaking, it's something you go and purchase offline or you know at a dealer. I wanted to ask, and you kind of answered it to some extent, but how do you make sure that you're keeping together the experience you've got a lot of online digital experience. How do you make sure that it is consistent all the way through to somebody, you know, receiving their dream car?
First of all, I think it's a little bit of a misconception now that people are still physically going to dealerships and stuff like that. If you look 5, 6, 7 years ago, there was an average visit to the dealers before you purchased a car of 4.5 times. Now I think it's down to 1.4 times. So people really want to understand, what can I get? Looking at different websites, looking at different brand websites, comparing and doing all kinds of studies on the web. And then they want to go to a dealer, they want to tell the dealer, I want this car, give me an offer, or even I mean, we would like as a brand to not haggle and stuff like that a lot. I mean, we would really, this is the price. Our brand should be so good that this is the price you pay. You don't get a good deal by these normal salesmen that can sell their mother. We really want the customer to feel confident that this price that I have on the internet is the price that I'm prepared to pay. Seamlessness is really difficult between digital and physical, and it's something that we're working extremely hard on. I can't tell you too much about it, but we have a couple of big projects where we really want to connect the dots in a really totally different way to what we're doing right now.
Without giving away any state secrets about some of your big projects, what about this concept about selling cars directly to the consumer online, and what's your view on that, whether that's a Volvo view or just an industry view?
No, it's the XC90, which is our flagship car, we launched the first XC90 in 2002, and when we were started to be owned by Geely, the Chinese company, we revised the strategy, and we wanted to come out with the next XC90 in 2015. And one of the things that we did then was that we sold the first 1,927 XC90s on internet in August 2014. And of course, and they were numbered. 1927, wow. That was the year when Volvo was founded. So that was the reason why we had that odd figure. And people could subscribe to a number, so they could, and of course we had some people that already had a number that we've been discussing with, like or what do you say, Crown Princess in Sweden, like Zlatan Ibrahimovic had number 10, of course, and so on. But the rest of the numbers were filled up by influential people in different markets. And the cars costed about between 80,000 pounds to 200,000 pounds, depending on what market you were buying from. And do you know how many hours we sold them in?
A very small amount of hours. Very small.
47 hours, all of them were gone.
Right.
And this was the start of our selling on the net. So now we have a couple of markets. I'm not fully updated on which markets we have rolled out on digital commerce, but we have Norway on board. I think we have UK on board as well, and the ambition is to spread, of course, to do it more.
And so you talked about the after sales care and the importance of service. So my next question would be, when you're buying something like that, like a big car, and it's probably, I think the average is every 7 years or 5 to 7 years that how do you keep in contact and engaged with your customers, so you're constant, they're front of mind the next time they're about to choose?
Yeah. Loyalty itself, I mean, is it the customer being loyal to us, or is it us being loyal to the customer? And I think the conception so far has been that the customer should be loyal to us. I think we need to change that as a company, and for us to be loyal to the customer. But it is difficult. We have CRM programs where we send out mails for campaigns, for repurchase, and so on, for our 27 biggest markets, including China and the US. But it is, I think we could absolutely be better, and it's something that we are working on as well to be much better in that.
And obviously you've got an iconic brand, and that's going to work towards keeping you front of mind. But how do you think in the last maybe 10 years or whatever period you think that the Volvo brand has actually evolved, and how important are customers in that? So, you know, your customer feedback to evolve the brand, or customers within that brand. So how do you see?
Well, first of all, I think we have built our brand with our products, of course. I mean, we have amazing products nowadays. I would say, since I've been working with Volvo since 1988, I've been through all those ups and downs, and you know, we had amazing products at that time as well, but you know, they were a bit squarey. They were not that nice looking. Now we really have, with a new strategy that was put together in 2010 and 2011, and then is still sort of being carried out. We have amazing products, really nice products, and I think that's the base, of course, of building the brand. So XC90 is our brand booster, you could say, and hopefully now we will see XC60 and XC40 contributing to the overall improvement in brands. But we still have a way to go. That's definitely it. But I think also with social media, which we are really working hard with as a company, and owner reviews, and we're also working with another company called StoryStream when it comes to user-generated content on social media that we put on our website after some curation and asking the customers if we can, and so on. I think that means a lot as well for advocacy and really making sure that other customers are seeing that, other consumers are seeing that customers are really passionate about Volvo, and so I think user-generated content on our websites is really important, and that's why I think we need to do a much better job than we're doing there right now.
Yeah, and you mentioned owner reviews as well, which is obviously something Reevoo have been helping you with. What were you worried in the beginning about poor scores? How did you feel about that, and what happened?
I think many markets are still worried about bad reviews.
Yeah.
What we've seen, and one of the, I think what we've seen in UK, for instance, is pretty surprising. We have, I think it's 2.4% of the reviews that are under 7. Of course, we want no such reviews at all. But if we don't have bad reviews, how authentic is it really? I mean, people must sometimes not be that happy about our products. Maybe they paid too much. Maybe they thought they got too little, and so on. But I think it's how you handle those bad reviews that makes a difference. I mean, if you just let them stand on your website unmanaged, then it could be really bad. But again, I'm not that worried because we have such great products right now. I'm maybe more worried about the V40, which is our oldest car right now, because we're changing some of the other cars this year as well. That could maybe be a little bit of a worry, but that's a really good car for the price that you pay for it as well. But in a couple of years from now, we will have only new cars with the 2 platforms, with the SPA platform and the CMA platform. And no, I'm not worried at all, to be honest.
Oh, I don't think you should be worried. No. Your scores are, as you say, very good, and your transparency is important there. And I think even with your new models, it'd be interesting to know how you take some of that feedback, and do you just look at it from the perspective of helping customers online, or do you take that back into your product development feedback, for example?
I think so far we haven't done that, but it's definitely something that I will have a discussion with our market intelligence organization. You know, we're doing a lot of surveys. Sometimes we're doing too many surveys to customers, so they get just tired of it. Yeah. And that's something that we need to look into, and I know that it's a thing that they have been addressing as well. But how can we? I mean, we looked yesterday. We had a workshop here with France, Ireland, Norway, and so on, and we looked at the sentiment statements where we can absolutely draw some conclusions on what people are feeling about specific features in the car, and we could also, if I understood it correctly, we could actually ask the customers to rate specific features. Yeah. And I think that's powerful. It's really, really powerful to get that width of customer input. So definitely we will look into how we can use that in a better way, I think, because now we're not using it. Maybe UK are using it. I don't know actually, but as we get more markets on, we will definitely start looking at that.
So let's talk a little bit more about the industry as a whole. We know that over the last year or so, there's been some negativity around certain brands coming, in terms of trust and some of the ethics around production, etc. What's your view, and how has Volvo withstood that kind of whole sentiment? And generally, what do you think about how consumers trust car manufacturing brands today?
I mean, there are problems, especially around fuel consumption. I would say. I mean, there is a set way of measuring fuel consumption, which is very ideal. I mean, it has nothing to do with real driving. Basically, it's you don't have any air condition on. You have the less fuel consuming wheels, tires, and so on. But it's a model that everyone is following, and it's what the official fuel consumption is all about. I think it's important to be honest to the customers about that. That okay, we have, and I think we've done in my previous job as heading up the training of dealer staff. We did sort of a policy around that, how dealers would communicate to customers who came in and said that my car is too bad. I mean, you don't live up to the figures you said. So I think being honest to the customer about those things is really, really important, so that we keep our customer promise, basically. I was a little bit afraid myself personally that we would have done something like we shouldn't mention any brands, but obviously we hadn't. But it is, I think, to be true to the customer is vital. To sometimes admit that okay, this is not good is also vital, but then have a plan to do something about it.
Okay. And so obviously we've talked about a lot of topics, but is there anything in your mind or in your experience that that is either a great opportunity coming up in the industry or a great challenge that that you think the industry faces over the next kind of 5 to 10 years?
I mean, we see car ownership, car usage changing a lot, I would say. I mean, younger people. I mean, before, let's say, go back 15 years ago, a person got their driver's license, they bought their first car. It's not that evident any longer. It's not there. So I think we need to meet the customers differently through all kinds of channels. We are working with there's a company in that we own in Sweden called Sunfleet, where you rent a car when you need a car. So we are working on a global concept. With something similar, and I think you need to meet the customer where they want to be met and how they want to be treated, and I think that's the challenge, and I mean that's why we have Care by Volvo right now, because we feel that you should be able to subscribe to a car with relevant services. I think that's probably the challenge, and I think also, of course, electrification, making the cars more pure, and our fantastically bold statement there that has made a lot of noise around the world. I think that all our cars should be electrified is really, really important. And I think it's I don't think we used to be that brave, but now we're really, really brave, and it's great.
Well, consumers expect you to be brave, honest, and trustworthy, and I think and authentic. So I think you have to, just as you say, you have to face these challenges so that consumers can trust where you're going. So we've talked a lot. Thank you very much. Just one final question from me, which is kind of one really about Reevoo. How has it been working with us, and how do you think we've helped in the last kind of year or so?
I think we're still in. I mean, we are still very much in the beginning. I would say since we now have UK live. It's the only market live. Hopefully, we will go live with France soon, and then the other markets will come, and I really look forward to that. Yesterday we had our first sort of workshop together with the markets. We've been pretty much talking Central and Reevoo up until now, and I think it was great to have that kind of workshop, because then the markets are feeling much more comfortable, and seeing you dedicated and devoted people to work together with us. I think that was great. So I think we have a great future ahead of us, and we need to take care of that in a good way to cooperate both centrally Reevoo and with the markets and Reevoo, and look at new opportunities to make sure that we always stay on top of things. And now we're also working quite seriously with analytics so that we can really measure the business impact on what we're doing, and I really look forward to show that to markets that decided not to take on Reevoo now, like some colleagues in the center of Europe. I won't mention any names.
Yeah, well, you know.
But I think it's important. I think to me it's so important. It's a hygiene factor that owners should be able to tell us what they think about our cars, and we should put that on our websites. And where there is a negative feeling, we should really respond to that in a good way, take care of that customer in a good way, and turn that negative thing into something positive. So for me, and we are so used to do that today. I mean, we all give reviews maybe a couple of times a week, and we don't think that is anything peculiar, and it should be really the same with cars, the same with when you service a car and stuff like that. So no, I think I'm looking forward to, in August, September, when we have all the markets on board, when we have collected some data, to slap some faces and say that, hey guys, you missed an opportunity, but you can still come on.
Catch up.
Yeah,
that's brilliant, Fredric. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank you for your time this morning, and it was wonderful meeting everybody yesterday. We look forward to a long and fruitful future.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care.
Yeah.